Today we're going to learn about perimeter, area, and volume. Give me a thumbs up if you remember learning about perimeter and area in 4th grade. Alright, good. So we're going to touch on it even more this year. Our SE is 5.4H. The student is expected to represent and solve problems related to perimeter and/or area and related to volume. By the end of the unit, you'll be expected to solve problems using formulas to find area, perimeter, or volume. You'll be expected to demonstrate your understanding of word problems by indicating whether a problem requires finding perimeter, area, or volume. And you'll be able to apply this SE to solve multi-step application problems in varying contexts. So last year, you were able to solve problems related to perimeter and area of rectangles, where dimensions were whole numbers. This year, you will represent and solve problems related to perimeter and/or area and related to volume. And next year, you'll be able to write equations that represent problems related to the area of rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoids, and triangles, and volume of right rectangular prisms where dimensions are positive rational numbers. You'll also be able to determine solutions for problems involving the area of rectangles, parallelograms, trapezoids, and triangles, and volume of right rectangular prisms where dimensions are positive rational numbers. So each of you have a star reference sheet on your desk. Please make sure you're turned to the side where you see perimeter, area, and volume. So to find the perimeter of a square, it has the formula listed right here for you. So we have perimeter equals 4 times the side. Why do you think we can just multiply the side times 4? What do we know about squares? Josh? Good. Each side of a square, they're all the same length. So that's why we can just multiply the side by 4. It's the same thing as adding each side together. For a rectangle though, each side is not necessarily the same length. So you would do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. These are the formulas that you're given in 5th grade. So last year, some of you might have just added up all the sides. You can still do that to find perimeter, but the formula for 5th grade is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. For area, we have side times side for a square because the lengths are the same size. But for a rectangle, you have length times width, or the bottom times the height. For volume, we have length times width times height, or base times height for rectangular prism. And then for a cube, it's side times side times side. So the base here, the reason why you can either do length times width times height or the base times height is because they just used their order of operations. They just did their length times width to get their base. So it has the same outcome. Do we have any questions? So perimeter, Amy, will you read it to us? Good. It is the distance around a shape. So in your interactive notebook, please write this down and make sure that you say around. Box the word around. Okay. Area. Isaiah, please read area for us. Good. It is the amount of space inside a 2D figure. And then volume is the amount of space inside a 3D figure. So if you're trying to find out the whole amount of space that a 3D figure takes up, you're trying to find the volume. For area, we typically find it for a 2D shape. And then perimeter is around. So take your finger and move it around the outside of your desk. So you're moving it around the outside edge of your desk. In your mind, think about what are we feeling here? What part of the desk are we feeling? Desk 5? Good, that is the perimeter. So when you're moving your finger around the outside of your desk, you are moving it around the perimeter. You could find the perimeter of your desk. So now take your hand and swipe it along the surface of your desk. Desk 7, what are you feeling right now? What could you find if you are touching the surface of your desk? Good, the area. So right now, in your mind, you're going to think about, without talking, what keywords will help you know whether a question is asking you to find the perimeter or to find the area. So just right now in your mind, you're just thinking about what keywords that I hear might help me know whether the question's asking me to find the perimeter or asking me to find the area. Right, you have about 30 seconds now to share with your elbow buddy. Again, you're talking about what words will help you know whether the question is asking you to find the perimeter or the area. All right, go. Three, two, one. All eyes on me. Table 4. Ashley, will you tell me what keyword you came up with to help you know that it's looking for the perimeter? Around. Do we all agree if you're talking about around, it could be the perimeter? Good. Table 1, desk B. What's a word that helps us find the area? Surface. Do we agree if you're looking for the surface would be the area? Good. Raise your hand if you came up with anything else. Border. Do we agree that border would be for perimeter? Good. Angel, what else did you come up with? Inside. All right. So if it's a flat surface inside and you said that's the area, good. Anytime that you have perimeter, the answer is going to be in units. And then for area, you'll always see units squared. Okay, that's because we're multiplying the two sides together. So you have two sides that you're going to be multiplying together. And then volume, it's not listed here, but volume, it's 3D figure. It's units cubed. And that little 3 that you'll see, that represents cube. Or you'll see cubic units. So this word cubic is something else that you'll see for volume. Any questions? All right, so we have a couple word problems that we're going to work on together. Please make sure that you have your whiteboard out and your marker. So since you don't have the problem written right in front of you, you just have it on the board, I want you to work with me to tell me what's important to be underlined, boxed, or circled. So Hatchman buys a rectangular sheet of plywood that measures 18 square meters. The sheet of plywood is 3 meters long. What is the perimeter of the sheet of plywood? what's one thing that's important to circle or box? We know that it's 18 square meters. And we know that it's 3 meters long. Good. And it asks us, what is the perimeter? So we know that it's rectangular. That's important to know. It's not, it doesn't tell us that it's a square, so we know each side isn't necessarily 3 meters long. We know that 2 sides are, since it's a rectangle. And what did we say earlier about the square meters? Ashley? Good. Square meters, remember, that's for area. So we know that area equals 18 square meters. So I'm going to put meters squared. In the formula, if you look on your STAR reference sheet, what is the formula for area? John? Okay, good. Length times width. So area equals length times width. And we saw up here that 3 meters, that one side is 3 meters. So we'd have the length as 3. But we want it to equal 18. Okay. Since our area is 18, we want our formula to equal 18. So 3 times what is 18? Just 17. That's 3 times 6. Good job. So we have our rectangle here. And we know that it's a 3 by 6. But we're wanting to know the perimeter. So I need you to look on your STAR reference sheet and find perimeter of a rectangle. That's 21. Okay, 4 times the side. Do we agree that for a rectangle we can multiply the side times 4? Why not? Good, they're not the same length. So we do need to make sure that we are using 2 times the length. So for perimeter, you have 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And then you plug in the numbers. So we have perimeter equals 2 times 3 plus 2 times 6. And what is 2 times 3? Good. And what is 2 times 6? Good job. So it would be 18 also. Now we have 2 different answers that say 18. So we know it's not A, we know it's not B. Now would it be 18 meters or 18 square meters? In your mind, think about it. When you have an answer, put your hand on your head. If your birthday is in the month of October, please stand up. If you are over 5 feet, sit down. Right, Ellie, would it be meters or square meters? Okay, think about earlier we said area was square meters. We're looking for perimeter. Would you like to call in a friend for help? Okay, Josh, would it be meters or square meters? Good, it would be meters. The square meters would be for area. So that is why it's just meters for perimeter. Good job. All right, so with your partner, you are now going to do a scavenger hunt. And that would have been after a few practice problems. And then for their exit ticket, they'd get on Padlet and they would list all the vocabulary words that they remember hearing from today.